the correct order of the increasing IR frequencies of the following. So here we should have the basic conceptual knowledge on IR spectrum or IR chemical shift values. So here all of them are carbonyl functional groups. Okay, right. Whenever carbonyl functional group is stiffer, that means if the bond strength of carbonyl group is strong, very strong, then it will give higher IR chemical shift value. Just note this point. Okay, now just look at here, we have chlorine in one of it, CH3 here. So strong inductive effect is observed. So chlorine is a more electronegative atom, that's why it always drags electrons towards it. Okay, so in that case what happens? So simply the carbon oxygen bond strength will become more because they will move near to each other. In that case, highest IR chemical shift value observed. Okay, highest chemical shift value is observed for that C double bond O Cl. So what is the first one? This. And simply just remember that whenever the halogens are connected to that carbonyl group directly, then we can see higher chemical shift values based on the electronegativity of that halogen. Okay, if it is having higher electronegativity, higher chemical shift will be observed. So based on that, second for the bromine, and now so third for this C double bond OH CH3. So why not the fourth one? Can you say or can you decide here? So simply the double bond can move here. That means resonance stabilization is possible. So whenever resonance stabilization is possible, there is the possibility to form a single bond like this between carbon and oxygen. What it indicating? The bond strength is decreasing. Whenever double bond becomes single bond, the bond strength will become decreases. Whenever bond strength decreases, we know that the here force constant K decreases. Whenever force constant decreases, wave number decreases. Okay, so from that concept we can say that the least IR frequency for this that means cycloketone. Okay, right. So second option is the correct answer here. So based on the conceptual strength, we can simply give the answer for the third question. And next fourth one here. So the number of hydrogen or HNMR signals in the following compound. So just look at the given compound. So here most of the students tries to assign the chemical environment for the protons on the given, so that means planar form of it, but the given molecule is not going to exist in the simple planar form. It will exist in, so we can say like this. So here is the oxygen. Okay, so just like this, it will exist in the form of chair conformation. Okay, exist in or not really like that. So you can see, or you can take like this. Okay, so the bulk group should always be equatorial to escape from the steric repulsions. Okay, in this case, one axial hydrogen, one equatorial hydrogen. So these two are not in similar chemical environment because axial hydrogen experiences 1,3 diaxial interactions with these two hydrogens, and you can see there are no axial 1,3 diaxial interactions for this equatorial hydrogen. So these two hydrogens are not same. That's why they will give two different HNMR peaks in HNMR spectra. So we can say 1, 2, and these two are same. So they give one NMR peak. So 3, and here is one hydrogen. So 4, and these 3 protons are similar chemical environment. So 5. So total 5 signals are possible for the given compound. Okay, right. And next question here. Right. So the correct HNMR chemical shift values to the following compound. Now just look at here. So we have labeled the protons, and here to give the correct answer, so we need to look at HX. Just look at the HX. So here the strong inductive effect is observed. because directly connected oxygen is there, right? So which always tracks electrons towards it. We know that in general, the sp2 hydrogens having chemical shift HNMR chemical shift values in the range of 5.5 to 6.5. Okay, so in this range we can observe, right? Or simply we can go with so 5 to 6.5. Okay, whatever. So due to the strong inductive effect, due to the presence of more electronegative oxygen, the hydrogen which is labeled as X is highly deshielded. Okay, so due to the high deshielding nature, the HX will give 7.27 ppm. That is abnormal for it, because the normal alkene proton is in the range of 5 to 6.5, but it is having 7.27 just due to the strong inductive effect is observed from that more electronegative oxygen. Okay, now just come to the point of come to the point of HA and HB here. Okay, now just look at HA, which is having highest chemical shift value. So simply the hydrogen which is labeled as A is in relation or is interact with the lone pair of electrons of the more electronegative oxygen which are cis to each other. So due to this nature, the hydrogen which is labeled as A will experience high deshielding nature. So it should with 4.88 ppm. Okay, whereas HB is trans to this more electronegative oxygen, so it will show somewhat slight or less less effect from that lone pair of electrons and oxygen, so it will show 4.57 ppm. Okay, now just look at the CH3 which is connected to the carbonyl carbon, simply 2.15 ppm. Okay, so now just check the options here. HA here 4.88, HB 4.57, HX 2.15. Sorry, and now just look at this one. HX is 7.27, CH3 is 2.14. Option 4 is the correct answer. Okay, so the electron density decides shielding or simply upfield or downfield shifts of chemical shift values in HNMR. Just remember this point. Okay, right. The next one, we can see the sixth one here. So we have given with the molecular formula C10H12O2 and 1.52 doublet 3 hydrogens, 2.05 singlet 3 hydrogens, 5.87 quartet 1 hydrogen, 7.30 multiplet